The screen fades into a wide view of the ranch fields. The sound of the wind moves through the tall grass while a soft but tense piano melody begins. The voiceover enters with weight and emotion. Heartland fans have been asking the same question for years. What if Ty Borden's story was not finished? What if the man who carried the spirit of Heartland could ride back into Amy's life when no one expected it? The music swells, images of horses running across the golden fields cut in quickly, and the scene shifts to a quiet sunset. The voice continues with intensity. The trailer for Season 19, Episode 1 has left the entire fanbase in shock, because in the shadows of the ranch, there is a whisper, a sign, a glimpse that could mean one thing: Ty Borden's return. The story of Heartland has always been bigger than one character, but for millions of viewers, Ty Borden became the heartbeat of the show. He was the troubled young man who first stepped onto the ranch years ago, carrying the weight of a painful past but searching for a place where he could belong. Viewers watched as he slowly grew into someone Amy could trust, love, and eventually build a family with. Ty's journey was never easy. He faced obstacles that tested his strength, his loyalty, and his hope. Yet through all of it, he remained a symbol of change, showing that even the hardest beginnings could lead to the most beautiful endings. When Ty passed away in Season 14, it felt like the end of an era. Fans cried with Amy as she stood alone in the barn, and many believed the story could never be the same without him. Yet Heartland has always been about resilience. Amy found ways to carry on, to raise her daughter, to care for the horses, and to hold on to the spirit of Ty even when he was gone. But deep down, fans never stopped wondering, could there ever be a way to see him again? Could the writers surprise everyone with a return that no one saw coming? Now, whispers from the Season 19 trailer have reignited the fire of hope. The camera lingers on Amy standing by the fence, her eyes scanning the horizon. In the background, the faint sound of hooves echoes as if someone is approaching. The trailer cuts before revealing the rider's face, but the question is planted like a seed. Could it be Ty? Fans online have not stopped talking since. Social media is full of theories, screenshots, and frame-by-frame breakdowns of the trailer. Some point to a familiar leather jacket. Others notice the way Amy's expression changes, as if she recognizes someone she thought she would never see again. The creators of Heartland have been careful, leaving just enough clues to fuel the excitement without giving away the truth. This section of the trailer has made one thing clear: Ty Borden's legacy is not finished. Whether it is through a dream, a memory, or a shocking twist, his presence is set to return in Season 19, Episode 1. And for fans, that means the story of Heartland is about to step into a new and emotional chapter. The trailer does not give answers. Instead, it plays with silence and shadows. A wide shot of the ranch shows the mountains covered in mist, the sky heavy with storm clouds. The sound of distant thunder rolls across the fields as Amy stands near the barn, her hand brushing over the worn wood as if she feels the weight of the past pressing against her. Then a single moment changes everything. A horse's neigh breaks through the silence. Amy turns, her eyes narrowing, searching the horizon. The camera cuts before we see who is riding toward her. That split second has become the most debated moment in Heartland history. Viewers freeze the frame, watching Amy's face. There is recognition there, not just surprise, not fear, but something softer. Hope. The kind of hope you only feel when you see someone you never thought you would again. The internet exploded after this scene appeared. Could the writer be Ty Borden? Could the impossible become reality? Or is the show playing with the emotions of its loyal fans? The mystery deepens with the trailer's choice of sound. Instead of dramatic music, the background fades into a low hum, almost like a heartbeat. Each beat grows louder as the rider approaches, but then everything cuts to black. The screen holds for a long pause before the words appear. Season 19, Episode 1. Nothing more. No name, no promise, just silence. That silence speaks louder than any line of dialogue. Heartland has always been about family, love, and healing, but it has also mastered the art of suspense when it chooses to. Fans remember the long wait before Amy and Ty admitted their love. They remember the cliffhangers that made them hold their breath each season. This trailer has brought back that same feeling, but amplified by the impossible. The return of a character everyone thought was gone forever. The mystery is not only about the writer. The trailer shows quick flashes. Jack sitting alone on the porch, gripping a photo tightly. Georgie racing across the fields with determination in her eyes. Lou closing a door and leaning against it as if she is hiding something. Each image is short, fragmented, but powerful. It feels like every character is carrying a secret, every scene hiding a clue. The mystery is bigger than Ty alone, yet everything seems to circle back to him. In this section of the trailer, fans are not given comfort or closure. Instead, they are invited into a puzzle built out of shadows, whispers, and half-answered questions. The mystery does not ask, "Will Ty return?" It demands, "What if he already has?" The trailer does not confirm anything, yet every frame feels like a secret message. It uses images instead of words, symbols instead of clear answers. One of the most striking shots is a close-up of an empty chair sitting on the porch at sunset. The wind moves across the seat, as if someone has just left it behind. For longtime fans, that image means only one thing: Ty Borden. He was often shown on that very porch, late at night, talking with Jack, reflecting on the challenges of life, and sharing his hopes for the future. An empty chair is not just furniture. It is a ghost of the man who once filled it. Another scene shows Amy in the barn, her hands brushing over Ty's old tools. They are covered in dust, but she pauses, holding one in silence. The camera lingers on her expression, and then the lights flicker. The sound of hooves echoes in the distance, and the frame cuts. It is the kind of editing designed to make fans believe they are about to see him. The absence is louder than any reveal. The most controversial shot, however, comes halfway through the trailer. A figure in a leather jacket, face hidden, walks past the ranch fence. The jacket looks familiar. The same one Ty wore in some of the most iconic episodes. The figure does not speak, does not turn, but the movement is unmistakable. The internet quickly exploded with theories. Was this Ty? Or was it just a clever trick, a stand-in, a shadow created by the writers to stir the fan base? The trailer also adds another layer of symbolism through fire and water. A quick glimpse shows a letter burning in a fireplace, its edges curling into ash. Another flash shows Amy standing by the river, watching the reflection of the sky on the water's surface. Fire and water, two elements often connected to Ty's journey. Fire for the pain and trials he faced, water for the healing and peace he always searched for. The choice to show these two elements back to back feels intentional, as if the creators are hinting that Ty's story has not yet reached its final balance. Fans watching these moments feel caught between belief and doubt. On one hand, everything points toward a return. On the other, Heartland has a history of using imagery and emotion to guide the audience without giving them what they expect. Perhaps the jacket belongs to another character. Perhaps the empty chair is only a reminder of grief. Perhaps the entire trailer is built not to show Ty's return, but to explore the weight of his memory. But the brilliance of these speculative elements is that they keep the conversation alive. Viewers are left arguing, guessing, and dreaming. And that is exactly what a trailer is meant to do. Make people feel the story before it even begins. The trailer does not just tease with shadows and symbols. It hits with emotion so heavy that fans cannot look away. The music rises, no longer soft and haunting but loud, almost overwhelming, with strings and drums crashing together like a storm. It builds as if something is about to break free, and the audience can feel it in their chest. This is the moment when Heartland reminds its viewers that it has always been more than a show about horses. It is a show about family, love, loss, and the kind of hope that refuses to die. The screen cuts to Amy. She is standing in the middle of the field, the wind tearing through her hair, her eyes locked on something far away. The camera does not show what she sees, but the emotion on her face says everything. It is not confusion. It is not fear. It is a mixture of shock and joy. The kind of expression you only have when you see someone you thought was gone forever. The music swells higher as her hand lifts to her mouth, almost as if to hold back tears. Fans watching this moment felt chills. Could it really be him? Then a burst of images crash onto the screen like waves. Jack drops a glass in the kitchen, staring out the window. Lou runs across the yard, shouting words the trailer does not let us hear. Georgie rides her horse as fast as she can, her eyes wide with determination. Each shot is frantic, intense, cut so quickly that it feels like a heartbeat racing out of control. The editing creates the sense of an event so big that it shakes the entire family. But the most haunting image of all is not a character's face, it is a shadow. The trailer shows a silhouette stepping into the barn. The camera angle keeps the figure hidden, but the posture, the way he moves, the slow and certain stride. It feels familiar. The door creaks shut behind him, and Amy's voice whispers in the background, almost too soft to hear. It can't be. The screen goes black. This is the climax the fans were waiting for. It does not show Ty. It does not confirm anything, but it pulls the audience into the moment where disbelief collides with hope. The music crashes into silence, leaving only the sound of a single heartbeat. That heartbeat fades, replaced by the text on the screen. The story continues. For many fans, this was the moment they knew Season 19, Episode 1 would not be ordinary. This was not just another chapter on the ranch. This was a promise that Heartland was ready to break its own rules, to give its audience something unforgettable. The emotional climax of the trailer is not about answers. It is about creating the feeling that change is coming, and nothing will ever be the same again. After the storm of sound and shadow, the trailer slows down. The chaos of rushing hooves and shattering emotions fades into stillness. The music shifts to something gentler, a single piano note, joined by a soft guitar. The camera shows Amy walking slowly across the ranch yard at sunrise. The light is golden, stretching across the land, washing everything in warmth. It feels like the beginning of a new chapter, but even in this calm, the mystery lingers. Amy kneels beside Lyndy, who is playing with a foal. The little girl's laughter fills the air, a sound that feels like healing. Amy smiles, but her eyes carry something deeper, a question she cannot answer. The trailer leaves just enough silence for fans to wonder what is moving in her heart. Is she remembering Ty? Or is she holding on to a secret she cannot yet share? The trailer then shifts to Jack, who is sitting on the porch as the sun rises higher. He pulls out an old photograph of Ty and Amy, the corners worn and faded. He stares at it with a heavy breath before sliding it back into his pocket. It is a small moment, but powerful. Jack has always been the pillar of Heartland, the one who guides everyone else, but this shot shows his own grief and his own hope. The photo in his hands feels like a promise, one that Ty's presence is still alive within the family. Lou appears next, standing in the kitchen with a letter in her hand. She hesitates, her expression unreadable before tucking it into a drawer. Fans have replayed this frame, pausing on the envelope, trying to guess what it could mean. Some say it looks like handwriting they recognize. Some believe it is a message connected to Ty. The writers give nothing away, but the placement of this shot in the softer part of the trailer suggests it holds importance. The resolution of the trailer is not about revealing answers. It is about reminding fans what Heartland has always stood for, carrying on through heartbreak, finding strength in family, and believing that love never truly disappears. The scenes of Amy and Lyndy, Jack on the porch, Lou with the letter, they create the sense of a family ready to face change. Whether that change is the return of Ty or something more symbolic, the message is clear. The story is not done. As the music swells gently, the trailer closes this section with a wide shot of the ranch under the full morning light. The camera pans across the fields, horses grazing peacefully, the barn doors swinging open. The words appear across the screen. A new beginning. It is a phrase heavy with double meaning. To some, it may mean the ranch moving forward without Ty. To others, it may mean his story is about to rise again. This moment of quiet resolution does not erase the questions. It sharpens them. It makes fans lean forward, searching for what the new beginning really means, and it sets the stage for what comes next. A return that could break every expectation. The trailer plants one seed above all others. It whispers the question that has shaken the Heartland fanbase to its core. Is Ty Borden really back? Not in a dream, not in a flashback, not in a memory, but back, alive, and ready to step into Amy's world once again. The editing makes it impossible to ignore. Every shadow, every pause, every unfinished scene feels like it was built to suggest his presence. The rider on the horizon, the jacket at the fence, the silhouette in the barn. None of it is clear, but all of it feels intentional. The showrunners know the weight of Ty's name. They know the fans have never let go, and they know that one small hint can send waves across the world. But the mystery goes deeper than just images. The trailer uses sound in a way that fans cannot stop dissecting. In one scene, when Amy looks up from the field, there is a faint sound layered into the wind. The call of a horse and a man's voice so soft it almost blends into the background. Some fans swear it is Ty's voice, others argue it is only a trick of the music. Yet the debate rages, because every detail in the trailer feels too precise to be random. Theories flood social media. Some believe Ty never truly died, that the writers planned his absence as part of a long game, ready to shock the audience years later. Others suggest his return will not be physical but spiritual, a guiding presence for Amy as she faces her hardest choices yet. And then there are those who argue the trailer is a clever misdirection, that the figure in the shadows is someone else entirely, maybe a new character who carries echoes of Ty but is not him. Still, the strongest argument lies not in fan theories, but in emotion. The look on Amy's face in the trailer cannot be dismissed. It is not the look of someone remembering the past. It is the look of someone standing in the presence of a miracle. Her eyes shine with tears. Her lips part in disbelief. Her whole body leans forward as if being pulled by hope. That is not just memory. That is recognition. The big question is not just whether Ty is back. It is what his return would mean. How would it change Amy, who has spent years learning to move on? How would it shape Lyndy, who grew up with stories of her father but never expected to see him again? How would it test Jack, Lou, Georgie, and the entire family, who have carried Ty in their hearts while trying to build new futures? The trailer does not answer these questions. It does not need to. It leaves the audience suspended between two truths: the grief of the past and the hope of what might be. And in that space, Heartland has created one of its most powerful mysteries ever. The big question stands like a shadow over the ranch. Is Ty Borden really back? The trailer fades toward its end, but instead of closure, it leaves behind a haunting silence. The final image is not of Amy, not of the ranch, not even of the mysterious rider. It is a wide shot of the open fields under a rising sun. The sky glows orange, the land stretches endlessly, and the sound of hooves echoes in the distance. But no rider is shown, just dust rising on the horizon. It is the perfect final question mark. The music fades into nothing but a single heartbeat. Slow, steady, familiar. Fans immediately connect it to Ty. The screen holds black as the heartbeat continues, louder until it stops. Then the words appear. Season 19, Episode 1, The Return. No explanation, no names, only those three words, daring the audience to believe what they just saw. This is where the trailer achieves its greatest strength. It does not confirm anything, yet it convinces everyone that something life-changing is about to happen. The legacy of Ty Borden has always been tied to Heartland's emotional power. His return, real or symbolic, would not just shake the show. It would rewrite everything fans thought they knew. The closing narration could almost whisper, "He was the heart of Heartland. He was the love Amy never let go of. And now, his story may not be finished." The screen fades to black again, and silence holds for a moment too long. That silence is what fans take with them. It is the silence that makes them talk, argue, and hope. This is not just a trailer. It is an invitation. An invitation to come back to Heartland, to step into the ranch once more, to ride through the fields of memory and mystery. It asks every viewer to join Amy, Jack, Lou, Georgie, and Lyndy on the edge of the unknown. It asks every fan to believe in miracles, even when the story says they are impossible. As the trailer ends, the call to action arrives not as a demand, but as a spark. The story continues. Will you be there? The screen flashes with one last line: "Subscribe for more Heartland." It is direct, simple, but carries the weight of everything the audience has just felt. And that is how the trailer leaves its mark. By refusing to answer the question, by keeping Ty hidden in the shadows, it turns silence into the loudest moment of all. Viewers do not leave with certainty. They leave with wonder. They leave with the possibility that Heartland Season 19, Episode 1 could change everything.